The calm before the storm far beyond the familiar stars of human space, the Galactic Council met in their shimmering chamber. Filled with leaders from dozens of alien species, each of them arguing loudly. Each voice sharper than the next, the room was tense. The air thick with fear and pride. And humans sat quietly in the corner, barely noticed, observing every word, every motion, and every subtle expression. No one in the room truly understood humans. They were calm, almost silent. Yet everyone sensed a quiet strength in them. Something about their presence made the aliens uneasy. Though no one could say why, humans had always been a small power in the galaxy. Their fleets modest, their colonies few, but their reputation for boldness and stubborn courage had spread quietly. Often whispered among alien diplomats, a sudden alarm broke the murmurs of the council. A signal from the outer edge of the galaxy blinked urgent and red on every display. The council members stiffened, some leaning forward, some whispering to their neighbors. The humans did not move, their eyes calm, their posture unshaken. And this only made the tension grow. "What is it?" shouted a towering reptilian ambassador, his scales bristling with fear. "A rogue fleet approaches," answered a smaller insectoid delegate, her voice trembling with alarm. "It moves too fast. It will reach the neutral colonies in hours." The council erupted in panic. Plans shouted over each other. Warnings spread across communication networks. But humans continued to sit, calm and silent, watching. Some aliens whispered among themselves, "Why are they not reacting? Do they not fear death?" Yet the humans were not foolish. They were planning, thinking, preparing in ways no one could understand. In the human observation room, Captain Elena Mars stood, her eyes scanning the holographic map, her hands moving lightly over the controls. Her crew moving around her with quiet precision. "Prepare the fleet," she said, her voice steady, calm. "We handle it." Her words were simple, but there was power in them. A confidence that made even the most arrogant alien leaders uneasy. Outside the council chamber, the galaxy continued its dance of light and motion. Stars burning, ships moving in endless paths. But for one moment, everything seemed to hold its breath. The humans had always acted with patience, waiting for the right time, and now the right time had come. Yet no one, not even the humans themselves, could fully know what the outer fleet had in store. The rogue fleet was unlike anything the galaxy had seen in decades. Massive ships glinting with unknown technology, moving with speed and coordination that even the Council's best minds could barely calculate. Alien fleets scrambled to intercept, panic spreading faster than the warning signals. But humans did not panic. Their ships were small but fast. Their crews trained to act as one mind, one body, every move rehearsed and precise. In the council chamber, the alien leaders argued, "We must act now," shouted a squid-like creature, its tentacles waving in frustration. "If we delay, the colonies will fall." Another, a bird-like species with shining feathers, shook its head. "We cannot match their speed. We will fail." And yet, humans watched, silent, unmoving. Their calm like a stone in a river of chaos. Captain Mar looked at her crew and said, "Positions now." The fleet responded immediately. Small ships detaching from hidden stations, forming formations faster than the aliens could understand. Their engines glowed with blue light, silent but deadly. The humans did not need the Council's approval. They had their own plan, and it was already in motion. As the rogue fleet drew closer, the Council realized something chilling. Humans were not just observers, they were active participants. And their methods were unknown. Their calm was not weakness, it was confidence. And confidence was terrifying to the galaxy's usual powers. The aliens exchanged worried glances, some whispering rumors of past encounters. Battles humans had won against overwhelming odds. Stories that made even the bravest leaders shiver. Captain Marr activated the long-range scanners. The holograms showing the enemy fleet approaching in tight formation. "They do not know what we can do," she murmured, almost to herself, and then louder to the crew. "Hold steady, wait for my signal." Every human ship moved like a single organism. Every pilot knowing their role, every weapon in position, ready for what was coming in that moment. The galaxy seemed to pause, every species, every fleet. Every leader watching as humans quietly prepared. No noise, no chaos, only focus and precision. It was the calm before the storm. And every being who saw it knew that when humans acted, the entire galaxy would notice. A small ripple of fear and respect moved through the council, as if the air itself had shifted, and then, just as the first star of the rogue fleet appeared on human sensors, Captain Marr leaned forward. Her voice steady, filled with quiet power. "We act now." The calm had ended, the storm was about to begin. And no one in the galaxy would ever underestimate humans again. The unexpected move the galaxy had never seen humans act like this before. Alien fleets scrambled, alarms blaring, but humans moved with quiet precision. Small ships detaching from hidden stations. Engines glowing like faint blue fire. Every human pilot knew their role. Every weapon ready, every movement calculated. There was no chaos, only focus, and the aliens felt a chill. Captain Elena Marr watched the holographic map as the rogue fleet advanced. "Begin the maneuver," she said calmly. And her crew responded instantly. Each ship moved like part of a single mind, weaving through space with speed and coordination that made the aliens gasp. The rogue fleet fired first, thinking humans would panic. But their shots missed. Humans already repositioned, invisible until it was too late. On board the largest human vessel, sensors showed alien commanders staring in disbelief. "They move too fast, they cannot react," shouted an insectoid officer, his voice shook with fear. But Captain Marr only nodded calmly. "Let them think that," she said, her eyes cold and steady. "Our strength is in surprise." The first strike was quiet but devastating. Human ships targeted key engines and weapon systems of the rogue fleet. Not to destroy them entirely, but to disrupt formation. Confusion spreading faster than fear. Alien leaders scrambled, signals crossed, and panic began to take hold, but humans did not celebrate. Their faces calm, their minds focused, their movements precise. The council on the central station watched through live feeds, their jaws dropping as small human squadrons danced between massive enemy ships, striking with precision that seemed impossible. "How can such small ships do so much?" whispered a reptilian diplomat, his scales bristling with unease. "They are humans," hissed another. "They always find a way." Captain Marr moved among her crew, checking every control, guiding the strikes, but never in panic, never in anger, only calm confidence. The rogue fleet attempted to regroup, sending larger ships to intercept, but humans anticipated each move, slipping through attacks, striking where it hurt the most. Their strategy was simple but brilliant. Control the chaos, strike with precision. Wait for the right moment. A young human pilot named Kai glanced at the captain and said, "They think we are weak, Captain." Marr smiled faintly. "Let them," she replied. "Underestimating humans is always their first mistake." The rogue fleet had assumed humans would run or hide, but humans never ran. And that simple truth terrified everyone who watched. The aliens were forced to react, throwing entire squadrons at the humans, hoping to overwhelm them. But the humans moved faster, their attacks precise, their coordination perfect. It was as if they were everywhere at once, appearing, striking, and disappearing again. And with every successful strike, the galaxy realized a simple truth: humans were not to be taken lightly. Meanwhile, back in the council chamber, alien leaders debated furiously. "We underestimated them, we must act now," shouted the squid-like ambassador, tentacles waving in frustration. "It is too late," whispered a bird-like diplomat. Feathers ruffled. They are already in control of the fight. Fear mixed with awe. No one could deny it. The humans had seized the initiative. Captain Mar turned her attention to the central command of the rogue fleet. A massive enemy ship tried to intimidate her with energy blasts, but humans anticipated it. Their ships had already positioned themselves around weak points. Every weapon aimed at critical engines, fire. She commanded, and in an instant, the massive ship shuddered, its movement crippled. Confusion rippled through the rogue forces, morale collapsing faster than their fleet. Despite their small numbers, humans seemed unstoppable. Not through sheer firepower, but through strategy, courage, and unity. Alien commanders whispered tales of human victories past. Stories that seemed impossible, yet now appeared true. Their calm, their intelligence, their stubborn courage was more dangerous than any weapon. As the first rogue ships began retreating, Captain Mar scanned the horizon, her mind alert. "This is only the beginning," she said quietly, knowing that bigger challenges were still coming. The galaxy watched in silence, fear and admiration mixing in every eye. Every species now realized that when humans decided to act, nothing in the galaxy could ignore them. And so, the first human strike ended, small ships returning to formation. Engines humming softly, crews silent but proud. They had acted decisively, striking fear into the enemy. Yet no one could predict what humans would do next. The unexpected move had shaken the galaxy, and the calm humans who controlled it only made the aliens more uneasy. The galaxy would remember this day. The day humans showed their true strength, not loud, not arrogant, but quiet, precise, and unstoppable. And in the silence of their fleet, Captain Mar whispered, "We've only begun." The storm had started, and no one in the galaxy would ever underestimate humans again. Secrets of human strength, the rogue fleet had retreated. But the galaxy did not breathe easy. Alien leaders whispered among themselves, voices low with fear and awe. How did they do it? One asked, scales trembling, "Humans are small, yet their strikes are deadly." The council began to realize that humans were not just brave, they were clever, intelligent, and unpredictable on board the human flagship. Captain Elena Mars studied the tactical map, her mind moving faster than any alien could follow. "They think this is over," she said softly to her crew. "But we have only shown them the surface." Her crew nodded, eyes focused. Every human knowing that the real strength of their race was not just in technology, but in unity, strategy, and courage. In the outer sector, small human strike teams moved like shadows among the stars. Each pilot knew the weaknesses of the enemy ships. Every engineer had repaired weapons and shields to perfection. Humans were fast, precise, and silent, slipping in where others would be detected, hitting where it hurt most, and vanishing before retaliation could come. The aliens began to murmur rumors of human tactics no one had seen before. Stories passed from fleet to fleet, making even the bravest officers uneasy. Captain Mar explained to her second-in-command, "It is not just our weapons," she said. "It is how we think. Humans see patterns others cannot. We use the enemy's expectations against them. And we fight together, always together." Her words were simple, but in them lay the heart of human strength, a force that no alien fleet could easily match. The rogue fleet, angry and desperate, tried again to strike at human positions, thinking sheer numbers would crush them. But humans anticipated it, every move planned in advance. Every human ship seemed to appear exactly where it was needed, striking at vulnerable points, disrupting formation, spreading confusion. The aliens shouted in frustration, unable to understand, their calculations failing at every turn in the council chamber. The reptilian ambassador banged his clawed hands on the table. They are not fighting like anyone else. How is this possible? The bird-like diplomat shook feathers nervously. We have underestimated them for too long, and now the consequences are clear. Fear and respect mixed in every corner of the galaxy. And even the oldest and most experienced commanders began to whisper of human legend back on the human flagship. Captain Mar watched her fleet move, thinking ahead. Prepare for the next phase, she said. The enemy does not yet understand us, and that is our advantage. Her crew moved with calm determination. Every action deliberate, every pilot confident in their role. The strength of humans was not only in technology or courage, it was discipline, intelligence, and trust. A young pilot, Kai, reported from the front lines, Captain, the enemy is sending larger ships. They mean to overwhelm us, Mars smiled faintly. Let them come, she said. We are ready. Her confidence was contagious, spreading through the fleet like fire. Humans were not afraid of numbers, they were afraid only of failure. And failure was not in their nature. The rogue fleet's new attack was bold but predictable. Humans had studied their moves, anticipating every strike, every formation. Every human ship became a trap, drawing enemies into positions where they could be isolated and disabled. The aliens began to realize that humans did not just fight. They controlled the battle, shaping the fight to their advantage. From the edge of the battlefield, the galaxy watched in silent awe. The humans were small, but their power was massive. Not in brute strength, but in cleverness, courage, and coordination. Every move they made spread panic and uncertainty, showing that the greatest strength of humanity lay in their mind as much as in their ships. As the sun of a distant star lit the battlefield, Captain Mars sent a calm message to the council. Do not fear humans. Fear what they can do when they act together. The words were simple, but in them lay a warning. A warning that humans, underestimated for so long, were capable of changing the course of the galaxy. And as the fleet prepared for the next encounter, one thing was certain. The galaxy had never truly seen humans at full strength. And the stories that would follow would be told for generations. Tales of courage, strategy, and intelligence. Stories of a species that fought with mind and heart, and showed that even the smallest could command the largest. The calm after the first strike had ended. But the storm was far from over. Humans were ready. And the galaxy would soon learn the full measure of their strength. The secrets of human power were not in their ships alone, but in their spirit, their courage, and their unity. And those who faced them would never forget it. Turning the tables, the rogue fleet thought they had regained control. But humans were far ahead. Every move the aliens made had already been predicted. Every formation anticipated, every trap set and ready. Captain Elena Mara watched the holographic map, her eyes calm, her mind sharp. They are coming exactly where we want them, she said to her crew. Prepare the counterattack. Small human ships darted through the dark of space like shadows, striking key points in the enemy fleet, disabling engines, cutting communication lines, and causing confusion. The aliens tried to respond with larger ships and overwhelming firepower. But humans were always one step ahead, slipping through their attacks, appearing where they were least expected, and vanishing before retaliation could land. On board one human frigate, Pilot Kai grinned as he maneuvered through a cluster of enemy vessels. They keep falling for it, he said. It's too easy. Captain Mars' voice came over the comms, calm and steady. It is never easy. It is precise. Every human ship followed a plan known only to their leaders. Every action synchronized like a single mind controlling hundreds of bodies. Alien leaders began to panic, realizing their fleet was being destroyed not by brute force, but by intelligence. Strategy and cunning had turned the battle. The bird-like diplomat in the council chamber squawked in disbelief. They are not just fighting, they are controlling the fight. Across the galaxy, whispers spread, humans are unpredictable. Humans are unstoppable. Fear mixed with awe in every fleet watching. The rogue fleet attempted one last desperate move, sending their strongest ships to strike the human command center. But Captain Mar had already anticipated this. Every human ship positioned to intercept. Every weapon aimed with deadly accuracy. The first enemy ship faltered, struck by multiple small human vessels at weak points no one had noticed. Panic rippled through the rogue commanders. In the midst of battle, human engineers repaired damage faster than the enemy could strike. Every crew member acting as part of a single organism, the humans fought not just with weapons, but with strategy, discipline, and courage. Alien ships fell one by one, confusion spreading faster than fire. And their morale collapsed back in the council chamber. The reptilian ambassador muttered to himself, "They are not just a race, they are a force of nature." The squid-like diplomat agreed reluctantly. They fight differently. They think differently. We cannot match them. The galaxy had never seen such a combination of courage and intelligence. And now it was clear that humans were rewriting the rules of war. Captain Mar gave her crew one calm order: push forward, but stay coordinated. Every human ship moved in perfect harmony, striking, avoiding, and regrouping. Their movements precise, almost artistic. The rogue fleet could not understand how humans anticipated every strike, and fear began to dominate their ranks. As the battle turned completely in their favor, humans captured key enemy ships without destroying them. Showing restraint but demonstrating clear dominance, the galaxy watched in amazement. For humans were not just winning, they were teaching a lesson. That intelligence and courage were more powerful than numbers alone. Finally, the rogue fleet began retreating. Battered and confused, their plans shattered. The humans held the battlefield, calm and unshaken, ready for whatever came next. Captain Mar looked at the stars ahead, knowing the fight was far from over. But the first major threat had been neutralized, and as silence fell over the battlefield, a new tension grew. Larger dangers loomed beyond the stars. Forces no one had yet seen, but humans were ready. Their strategy had worked, their strength had been shown, and the galaxy had learned a truth that could not be ignored. When humans act, they act with power, precision, and intelligence. The storm had turned. But the horizon hinted at even greater challenges, and the galaxy now held its breath, waiting to see what humans would do next. The calm that had preceded the first strike was gone, replaced by a quiet respect and fear, and Captain Mar whispered to her crew, "This is only the beginning." The tables had turned, but the game was far from over. The galaxy holds its breath. The rogue fleet had retreated, battered and confused, leaving the humans in control of the battlefield. Across the galaxy, word of their victory spread like wildfire. Alien leaders whispered in fear and awe, "Humans. They are different." Even those who had doubted their strength now realized humans were a force unlike any other. Captain Elena Mar stood on the bridge of her flagship, her eyes scanning the